If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you know how unusual this video is. There's not a hirsute hunk in sight in the new Paramount Plus mystery drama, School Spirits. I've decided to try reviewing this show as a way to justify keeping the streaming service after Wolfpack ends. There's not a lot on there that I like. I usually just re-up to Paramount Plus for the good Star Treks. That is not Picard, by the way. Or when they used to have that Good Wife spinoff, I would sign up for service briefly then. But at the time of this recording, with the season finale of Wolfpack coming on Thursday, Paramount isn't something I can see keeping unless I find a show I really like and can review every week. Unfortunately, School Spirits isn't that show.
I need to know what happened.
Would you like to tell us a little about yourself?
How'd you die?
It's fine. It's not terrible, but it's also not great. School Spirits is the kind of thing you throw on in the background while you're playing games on the phone. You only have to look up if they advance the mystery plot or something ghosty happens.
It all just resets.
The basic premise is this. Maddie died at school. She then woke up and found out that her alma mater is populated by a lot of kids and at least one teacher who died in the school over the several decades that the building has existed. I will resist the urge to compare it to another of my favorite Paramount shows, which is the comedy Ghost. But comparisons are obvious. I love this premise. You could mine this all day for the absurdity of it. You could do the culture clash thing of teens who died as kids in the 80s dealing with current teens and juxtapose it with teens in the 50s and show that while the technology and the pace of life might change, the problems are still the same and the solutions still work. Or you could do what they actually did and make it into a maudlin moat fest, with Maddie obsessed with finding her killer and the only person who can see her, this incredibly miserable guy who has complicated feelings about Maddie. That is a perfectly legitimate choice that a creator can make. It's a solid way to go with this premise. I mean, hell, the Nordic countries built an entire genre around ultra sad plotting dramas.
De har fundet mærker på kroppen, der tyder på, at hun har været holdt fanget et andet sted.
It works with some stories, and I could actually see that kind of thing working here. But that is not what they did with School Spirits. They meld this soiree of sadness with the exact awkward comedic troupe that I suggested before. There's the jock from the 80s who died mid-game and is legendary still. The closeted 90s kid. And a bad girl from the 50s. Those actually seem to be the primary so far, along with the dead teacher who also happens to run an afterlife support group. Again, all truly absurd and wonderful things, and you could get a lot from it. But all muddled and mismatched with morose Maddie, it comes off as disjointed. It's literally, we're going to interrupt this somewhat intense and sad murder mystery for a joke about a band bus accident that left the ghost confused and marching for eternity.
2004. The marching band hit a really bad storm coming back from a competition. Look at them. Just keep marching around in their metaphorical circles like a bunch of little idiots.
And now back to the Gloom Gala, where Maddie's alcoholic mother is actually a suspect, along with her boyfriend and that teacher that everybody loves. It really is a carnival of clashing sensibilities, and they never get the mix right in the 3 episodes released so far. The disparate stories never successfully flow together into a satisfying whole. And I'm not interested enough in either of the two halves to dedicate my time and effort to it every week.